Roblox has responded to the discourse surrounding safety again, and this time they've dropped one of the worst updates ever with it. Roblox Chief Safety Officer Matt Kaufman dropped a newsroom post titled Roblox Safety Snapshot where he shares some insights on recent moderation actions. It's not anything super detailed or long, but it gives some brief info about 4 different safety measures Roblox has taken recently. It opens up with that same "we've shipped more than 100 safety initiatives" sentiment they keep saying over and over again. Even though Roblox keeps saying that, I genuinely have no clue what 95 of those 100 safety initiatives they've shipped this year could be. I don't think Roblox has publicly announced 100 safety updates this year unless I and every person I interact with miss them, so it's probably mostly stuff they've kept private. I'd assume the majority of those 100 initiatives are small, since Roblox would probably want to put it out there if they were super positively impactful, but who knows. Anyway, one of the areas Roblox says they improved upon was real-time voice chat moderation, as they've expanded it to include 7 more languages. Believe it or not, apparently Roblox released voice chat without proper moderation capabilities for several languages, including some pretty commonly used ones in Roblox. Indonesian, Polish, Thai, Chinese, Tagalog aka Filipino, Arabic, and Russian can now be moderated in real time, which is really good. I know for a fact the Filipino and Russian communities are loaded with a lot of weirdos and their condo communities are huge, so this should help mitigate those issues. Roblox also mentioned their Teen Council and Community Safety Council, although they didn't say much other than them being a way to engage with the community. The most interesting parts of this small blog post come from the sections about legacy content and unrated content, which apparently have had huge effects on the platform. When it comes to legacy content, Roblox says they swept a catalog for policy violations and deleted over 800,000 avatar items and 1.8 million usernames and display names. That is correct. Roblox admitted to finding 2.6 million policy violations that had been previously accepted by their moderation or their filters. That is absolutely insane, especially the 800,000 avatar item part, because those didn't have to just go through a text filter to go up. They needed to go through text filters and be approved by moderation, yet 800,000 of them that violated Roblox's rules made it onto the catalog. I've got to be honest with y'all, that is way more than I was expecting to ever exist, not just now or at a single time, but in all of Roblox's history. I've realized Roblox moderation has sucked for a long time, but I would never have guessed there were 800,000 avatar items that violated the TOS actively on their platform recently. It's not like there were 800,000 total taken down throughout all these years. Apparently, it was 800,000 that was just caught in recent audits of the catalog. We recently had that many policy violating assets available on a catalog, which goes to show how terrible moderation has been for all of this time. What's crazy is that there are still extreme amounts of easily discoverable policy violating avatar items on the catalog, showing that the 800k didn't account for everything. It's insanely scary hearing that there were that many TOS breaking items on the catalog recently, then knowing that there's still extreme amounts available is even more frightening. Removing 800,000 policy violating avatar items is fantastic, don't get me wrong, it's just terrible that Roblox let it get to that point and they've still sadly got a ton of work to do. And then we've got perhaps one of the most insanely unnecessary and harmful updates Roblox has ever released that's a strong contender for the worst Roblox update ever. You may remember that Roblox announced they were going to close any game without a maturity rating set by their developers through that rating questionnaire. This meant a lot of older games would be closed since their developers were inactive or banned and couldn't do that questionnaire, leaving their games without a maturity rating. Roblox did quietly announce that unique games with over 1,000 visits would be preserved though, so there was some hope that a ton of classics would stay alive. Well, Roblox made over 100 million unrated games unplayable this week, as September 30th was the last day for devs to complete the rating questionnaire. Even though 100 million games were closed, Roblox did state that more than 200,000 games were able to be preserved. Roblox created some system that basically swept through games and was able to assign them maturity ratings like Ultimate Paintball. That sounds like an optimal solution to keep inactive classics alive, and apparently Roblox was able to, with over 200,000, so that's good, right? Well, I'm sad to report that this may be the most harmful, pointless, and unnecessary update Roblox has ever made. A lot of big games like Sword Fights on the Heights were missed, which thankfully was reopened since Shadletsky is still around, but I have no idea how it closed. Sword Fights on the Heights is literally one of the most iconic games in Roblox history, and it has over 29 million visits, so it should have been exempt. Roblox said they'd keep unique games without maturity ratings with over 1,000 visits open, but if this wasn't given leniency, what else got closed? This just happened, so we're still discovering which games weren't saved, and sadly, it's looking like a lot of beloved games, both popular and niche, have been closed. So much of Roblox's history has been taken down, whether it be a super well-known classic or something with lore attached to a popular figure. Roblox somehow wasn't even able to save Crossroads, a game they created, despite it also being one of the most iconic games ever and having over 11 million visits. If Roblox managed to miss some of the most historic games in their history, including one of their own, it's highly likely they closed more that we haven't noticed yet. This is without question one of the worst updates Roblox has ever made because of how damaging it is to their history and how completely unnecessary it is. Out of the 100 million closed games, it's extremely unlikely that even a handful of them have inappropriate themes or features like Teddy's games or straight up condos. The few that do are probably broken beyond use or recognition and could have been handled on a one-by-one basis when or if they were even discovered. Doing a blanket closure on over 100 million games does more harm than good because of how much of Roblox's history it closes in return for closing a small portion of weird games. Roblox could have just applied this to newly created games or ones made within the last few years, but they decided to do it on everything for unknown reasons, and it's awful. They even had a process to prevent unique games with over 1,000 visits from closing, but apparently it's so garbage that it saved 200k games, yet missed games like this. Probably none of this would be happening if Roblox had taken proper action against inappropriate games years ago like they should have. Instead of allowing games like Meep City, Dark 1020's Boys and Girl Hangout, or Teddy's Condos to flourish, they could have just shut them down. Unfortunately, letting those and all the other inappropriate content exist for so long built towards this extreme safety discourse they're facing. And now they're overreacting by closing over 100 million games, with most probably being completely innocent and risking no harm to anyone at all. Roblox could easily remedy this by undoing all these closures and only enforcing this rule on newly created or recently created games, maybe within the past few years. Roblox could also just do a better job at responding to reports against inappropriate games, but apparently their solution is to just take down as many as they can. In order to take down a handful of inappropriate games, Roblox has chosen to take down millions of innocent ones, making this one of the worst updates they've ever done. As per usual, Roblox gave us some good with the voice chat moderation updates and a huge catalog audit, then gave us a boatload of bad with the unrated game closure. We realistically should not be here talking about moderation upgrades and game closures though, because none of this should be happening. If Roblox started taking proper safety measures against inappropriate content years ago, we would not be here right now. Unfortunately, years of suffering has led us to suffering even more because Roblox still cannot figure out how to properly address safety concerns. During the creation of this vid, Roblox actually began responding to concerns surrounding certain game closures. They even responded to my tweet stating that both Sword Fights on the Heights and Crossroads had been reopened. Thankfully, Roblox is being uncharacteristically responsive, which is good, so hopefully they're able to undo a lot of the worst closures or take in feedback and rethink this update.